Hello everyone! Welcome to the Nordic RTS report with me, Runors, bringing you yet another Banished video. I was a little bit slow there because of the usual saying I usually say then Supreme Commander Forge Alliance forever, but today it is Banished. I thought it's been whopping time since I made a new video for this channel here, and I do apologize. I did get out a explanation video on my main channel where I told those that have seen it that I have been sick for the past 2 weeks. I have been sick and it was a horrible flu that made me just, well, scream in agony. And after that I attended a funeral, so for 3 weeks I, well, couldn't make a video due to all these different kind of things. But anyway, now that we are in the game, and we're gonna have some fun indeed. Now then, what I have seen here though is that we are currently in early spring in the Village of Equality, and so far, if I remember correctly, we should be doing rather well. Now, I haven't played Banished in quite some time now due to well, being sick. So this should be fun, seeing how well we can get the village to start again. I tried the village of Lardal again, and that is the goal I want to set for the Village of Equality. That is the goal I want this village to thrive into. And as last time, I remember that I have not been very good at talking about the technical things. For those guys that really sent me in constructive criticism on my previous video, I do thank you guys. I can't stress it enough how much that helps me, because it really improves my ability to make better content so that you can actually enjoy it. But anyway then, now we're gonna get back into the Village of Equality, where we are currently building the blacksmith. And now I'm gonna plus things up to speed too, because in the beginning of a game like this, especially during the spring when you're trying to build things, you usually want to get a blacksmith going after these initial first buildings. If you're close to water, a fishing dock is useful because you can get food all year round, but as you saw in the previous videos, my brother and I focused on getting a gatherer's hut up first, because you get a lot of food from that. You get onions, mushrooms, berries and roots. The berries, if you have an abundance of it, you can get ale or alcohol as it is called in this game. So I imagine some sort of berries and you make some sort of cider or something. So that sounds really good. And now it's spring, so to get things going though, we're gonna get 2 workers here for squash and potatoes, and I'm going to put down one of the gatherers so we have one laborer just in case, because I do not want to have it that we lose, for example, our teacher. That would have been a bit sad. Let's see, where does the teacher work? The teacher is currently 29 years old, so it's a very small chance that the teacher will die. But you never know. That's what I find this game so cool about. It's so unpredictable. You don't know what's going to happen. So I'm now going to actually be as bold as plus things up to speed 5. Because now they're just gathering up the resources for this blacksmith. And after that, they can start building it. I gotta say though, otherwise this game is the perfect game if you want to relax. But for more like technical stuff now, I don't know if anyone else has been building or playing Banished for very long, but if you have not and you are interested in starting the game, what I can actually recommend in the beginning is other YouTube videos, for example, like this one, is very useful. But if not, try a little bit back and forth, but always remember that during the summer people won't get cold if you have temperate climate to mild. Usually if it's above 5 degrees or something, I am not certain about that exact range, but I think the safe range is about 4 or 5 degrees outside and people will mostly survive. I happened once that I got -1 degree, people got cold, and I lost an entire village due to the fact that I didn't have a home enough, close enough, because like a house was down here and it traveled all the way up here to mine stone. So I was a bit of an idiot during the first attempts of Banished. But yeah, so otherwise than that, remember to build your houses close to where the workplace is located, also next to the storage barn, because these guys will, let's see, for example, the fishermen, they will go to the house to get food and stay warm, but then they will go back and forth here. If they get hungry, they will go up to the barn, storage barn, so it will be a continuous stream of doing this. So it's not too bad that, because then they will get food, deliver goods, so it's very close proximity. If you, for example, have, let's say, a workplace up here, they will have to go all the way up there to work, down to get food, up again, into the storage barn, up, and then suddenly down again. So it's a very inefficient working place. Always have a few extra houses up where they are going to work, so that you have, you know, people just in case. As the same for the crop fields, as I can't remember if I said it, but I learned it from my brother. If you build 7x7 crop fields, one person can manage that crop field. If you're a little bit unsure if they can do 6x6, because if you're trying like I do on weather climate harsh, it might be a little bit too big though for one person, but we'll just have to wait and see. We don't know what will happen yet. And now the blacksmith is almost complete, and there we go. Now we can make tools, and now we can turn off the builders and get a tailor. Currently we're on 24 stone though. So what I need to do is that I need to gather this stone, and hopefully we will get enough stone so that we can actually what do you call it? Get this one going. Let's see, we need 48 stone and iron. We got enough iron, so we are fairly secured on that front. Currently we have a lot of people living at home. There's only one couple in here. Yeah, usually you have the two upper people, they are the family head of this house though. So if you got people living beneath that, like this 15-year-old girl, that you know, she's a student. If you build another house with a guy that is also about the same age, they will move into that house and you get a whole different new family that can get more kids. So that's actually what I want to do now. I'm not gonna do that because we are very low on stored clothing, so that is something we need to focus on now. As you can see though, fish is a very big resource thingy here. You get a lot of resources from this fish, but you need it usually for the winter. So actually at the current moment I'm gonna put down people working at the fishing dock down to 1 and get a house going, because I want one more house. And I feel that we should get this small neighborhood here, so I'm gonna actually store the house right next to the school and get a small community going. And then for the sake of fun, I'm going to increase the priority. It's a very useful thing. Let's say if you have 15 buildings over here put on a building schedule, usually the builders would just go to a lot of the buildings seemingly at random. I suppose there is an order, but I don't know about that. But if you use the increased priority, at least a lot of the builders will then focus on getting resources to that building, because as you can see, when we're trying to build the blacksmith, there were 4 people carrying resources to the blacksmith, but there were only 2 builders set for building that. So when everyone has carried resources over to a house, then those 2 builders can start building the house, or well, the building in question. And we're currently on early summer, 21 degrees, and well, it's raining, but that is good for the crops though. Oh, imagine though having a nice group of venison for the main course potatoes. You have onions, roots and mushrooms to that. You also have fish if you feel very lucky. And let's go with some berries for dessert. Yes, indeed. And we are 2 laborers in so far, and I'm going to stop harvesting trees in this area. Okay, there's no trees being set to remove here though. So I'm just gonna remove some more stone, because we need more stone for this tailor. If we don't have enough stone for the tailor, well, you know, we can't build the stuff. And that is also something that... Oh, 1 minute. Sorry about that. Had to change position because I was sitting on my knees. They almost fell asleep. That's also something I recommend. If you want to build something and you run out of resources, it is always a good idea to pause the building, because if not, the builders we'll try to go over and fetch more resources if there's no resources in the stockpile. The problem with that is that as soon as they get even one stone, they will then immediately go back to the tailor and place it down. So it's very inefficient like working. So for that, I recommend just make sure either you have enough resources or pause it and put more people to laborers so that they can get more resources to the stockpile. Sorry. I try to be more consciously aware of my own voice, because I do have the problem of stuttering quite a lot, or at least having the sound, and I know that can be very tiring. So for me, I try to improve, but it is a work in progress, I do have to admit. I am Norwegian, and there will be sometimes the occasional need where I actually use Norwegian words if I'm unsure of the English word, and I can just put a translation in a subtitle or something. But anyway, now we are getting more stone though. These laborers are actually gathering up stone, so that is useful. This looks like we're more laborers than I actually added to it. But we are currently summer, 18 degrees, and we got a lot of potatoes and squash, so that's very good. It's a bit scary though. Late summer, 18 degrees. We're currently on 301 firewood. Food-wise, we're doing good. And still going strong with the stored tools. And as soon as... if I can just get the tailor up and running, I should be good. And now this... hey, here we go, here we go. Yes, indeed. Now the new house has been completed, and the farmer Waden and Luan, the student, have moved in and is waiting for their newly fantastic life as newlywed. Or the equivalent of... is it equivalent or equivalent? I'm not sure. I'm used to equivalent from Age of Empires 2. But anyway, yeah. They are ready for their new life together in a new lovely house, and they have currently a lot of lovely food to eat and be happy with. Right next to the school, so future children will be able to get to this school and have a very safe community and a safe place to be. Currently, late summer, 16 degrees. It's slowly starting to go down in the term of... what do you call it? Population, that was it. Okay, so I'm gonna actually now start the production of a woodcutter's house again. I'm gonna go up to fuel limit to 450 because I want to make sure, well, you want to make sure that you have enough wood during the winter. If you do not have enough wood, every single person will die. And also, if you can, get a pasture with the ability for sheeps, because if you have the ability to get sheep, you can get wool, and if you have the access to a hunting cabin, you get leather. With leather and wool, you can build warm coats, because you can either have wool coats, leather coats, or warm coats. Leather and wool works really well. They keep people warm, but warm coats have the most excellent use. So if you want to expand very far away from the main settlement you're trying to build from, I can really recommend getting warm coats to people, because then it will stay more warm, well, easily warm during the winter. Now we're closing in on the stone part there, so I'm actually going to start the building of the tailor and set 3 people to it, and so that they get their asses moving. Increase the priority, because now we're placing out the logs, and oh, this is fantastic. This small settlement, it looks very cozy. You have the like production area over here with woodcutter, you got a tailor, and right next to that you got a blacksmith. So I'm also considering having a small house here though in the future, so like the blacksmith's house. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Whoa, that's a boarding house. Other than that, what we have though, we have a trading post. I would love to have a trading post later though, and that could be a very fantastic place to put it actually. That is very good. Yeah, amazing place to have it, because then you got this small crevice of water, so it will be pushed inside of here, so it will be very easy for the trader to get whisked down the stream and let's see, put himself like that. and get inside of there. And oh, that looks fantastic. We're also 2 laborers. We are going strong. The reserve of logs is not low, so be quiet with you. And currently we are 16 degrees. We are getting all the crops, so fantastic indeed. We have much more luck now. As you can see, we are able to get all the crops harvested. So fantastic. So I'm going to stop the work here. And now we just need to wait for the potatoes. And after that, we have a lot of food. Now we have 200 squash, and we're going to get more potatoes. You do get a little bit smaller amount though, but it is better to have 4 7x7 crop fields than 2 large crop fields, because I feel then it's easier to manage as well, because then you know that where each person is assigned, at least to my preference at least. So otherwise than that, we are clearly moving forward. I'm going to plus things up to 5 because now we're moving up to the tailor. Is slowly starting to get it built, and then we can start getting coats. And I don't have access to sheep yet, so we just have to build leather coats. But we have 16 leather, so I'm going to actually get a tailor. So there we go. We're going to get some hide coats. I'm going to start a production of warm coats or leather coats so that we can keep warm during the winter, because now we can see that the amount of stored clothing is down to 3. That is very bad. So it was in the nick of time, I feel. And so far we are doing good. We have one more family that can wait. Once this student get up to age of 10, we can build a new house to move this new family in, because so far we are still, well, very young. There are very young people here. What about the house over here, though? So far we have an 18-year-old female student, and yeah, we need to wait for that small 10-year-old boy to marry off either the 18-year-old student or the, what was it? Let me see, where is it? What is it? What happened to the... Oh, there we go. The 16-year-old student. I would go with the 16-year-old, though. I mean, not as it is right now. I wouldn't go with the 16-year-old, but if I were 10-year-old, I would prefer waiting, 5 years and be with someone that is slightly older than me instead of much older. I'm not saying that 16 and 18 has a very big difference, but okay, this is a slippery slope that is very dangerous, so I'm going to stop talking now. And I'm actually going to now, as well, get someone to get to the blacksmith, because we can always use more tools. We are currently down to 5 stored tools, so now we can get things a bit more up to the amount we actually desire. Currently the woodcutter is doing okay. I have relied on manually getting wood though, and it is useful, but I think actually now the next project I want to do is get a forester lodge, and I actually want to put the forester lodge up here because I feel that having a forester lodge up here is useful, because then you can plant more trees. If you remove the stones and the iron and then you have a forester lodge, they will plant more trees, the gatherer's hut can find more food. So all in all, I feel it's a very good trade-off, even though it takes up a little bit space itself. And I think it looks good. I think it looks like a small working place for all the people there, and it's so nice. So I'm actually going to start the production of that, get one more person to the gatherer's hut, and now we got one laborer to do what they are doing. So we got a lot of stone that they are going to start collecting, and this will take a lot of time, but it is close by, so the person won't die or freeze to death. There we go. Now we just gotta remove that iron. There we go. And lastly, I want one more stockpile. Now, where should I put the stockpile? Well, we should just put it right next to the place, though. I want to have a small stockpile, though, but should I put it like this? Then people can't walk past it, if I remember correctly, though. So I'll wait and see what happens. I might put a stockpile right here. But I can get a 6x7. Yeah, there's no point of having a 6x7 crop field there. So I'm going to put a large stockpile here. I'm going to have it 5x5. Yeah, that seems like a good one. And then we can have a, just for the sake of it, when we become a rich society, we can have a well right here. Even though we are close to water, it looks nice having a well in the town. Usually the well is not very useful unless you have a fire in your town. And what do you call it? If you're very far inland like here, a well will be invaluable. Because I once encountered that one of my gatherers had started, well, catching fire, and it was a horrible experience. I lost, I think it was 2 people to it? Well, no, I think I'm mixing things up. I don't know if you can lose people in fire, I don't know yet. But, so far, we seem to be doing good. I'm gonna plus things up to 5 and see how things go. So far we got 3 laborers doing that. I'm going to get 1 more fisherman to the fishing dock, not fisherman hut. So we got 2 laborers. I'll remove some iron over here. Lots of iron. We'll clear this area, and that's a lovely lake we can actually use for our own personal needs. There we go. Yes. Irlet has become an adult and is working as a laborer, so we've got 4 laborers now, so that is good. Now we can actually increase the production of this gatherer's hut to 4 people. Fantastic, then we are going to be able to get a lot of food. So let's see, what do we want to build though? Usually during the autumn and winter is the time I build, because during the summer, in the beginning at least, I stop a lot of production, or, well, I don't stop the production, but I pause things, because as you can see now we're low on wood and I'm not paying attention. So this is also useful. I have to remove wood here so that I can build a forester lodge, and they will then replant trees in its sphere of influence. Other than that, there are some trees over here I can remove as well. There we go. Currently, there we go. You don't work there. We have enough stored firewood in the beginning at least. We have 1 amount of stored tools, so it's very good that we got a blacksmith up and running. We have currently 20 warm clothing, and I'm going to stop then the production of the tailor. Other than that, we have made 22 leather coats, and that is very good. We're going to survive this winter. We have a lot of food. People are very healthy, very happy. And after I get this forester lodge, I think I will go with a herbalist. A herbalist is very useful, especially after you manage to get up the basic stuff. Because a herbalist will function as an early sort of hospital. Until I can build a hospital, a herbalist is a very essential thing. And that is my final advice for this play session here, is do not, and I repeat, do not build a trading post until you have a hospital. I cannot stress this enough. Do not build a trading post until you have a hospital, because either trading post or a town hall will bring with them nomads. And nomads can bring diseases. A trading post can, I think, as well. At least from... I'm going to blame it on my brother here, but what he told me. So yeah, always be careful with that. Now then we can see that the forester lodge is slowly being created here. And where are the workers on this forester lodge? Yes, okay, so the builders are in here. We have currently... How old are people? The game has a bit of a weird, like, aging cycle. Wait a minute, weren't you just 16 years old? And you're 11. How's that even possible? I'm not sure. Okay, so we got 4 students at the moment. We got 5 laborers. And a lot of firewood. We're gonna be able to make it through this winter. We got 15 stored tools. We just gotta get more wood so that we can build the forester lodge. We still need more wood of that sort, yes. There we go, fantastic indeed. I'm gonna plus things up to speed 10 then and see how fast we can get through this winter. That's what I love about this game. It works fairly on its own once you've gotten the basic stuff to it. But if you just leave it as it is, you will... what do you call it? The village will cease to function though, because you still need to build stuff due to the amount of people being, well, born and people dying. You need a lot of different stuff. And that actually reminds me that I think I need a cemetery soon. And I think I will be able to build a cemetery over here, as I would like a church right next to the... There we go. So we have a church like this. I usually plan ahead though. I'm just building a lot of things and then I just pause it. So I would love to have a church like right next to the river. It would be a lovely way to have like a river town. So I'm gonna actually place the church there. I'm gonna pause that, and after that I want to build a cemetery right next to it. So that is where the church is. So if we do it like that, that looks a bit odd though. I'm gonna need a big cemetery, so I'm going to remove you. There we go. Removing him, and that's what I want. I want something to look good. I hate building something and if it looks out of place, like misplaced, or like it's not supposed to be there. So a cemetery, for example, like this, I feel could work. It's a 13 by 14, 14 by 14. Yeah, okay, so 13 by 14 will work fantastically. I'm gonna get 2 more workers on that. Oops, that was a bit too much. Yes, the Forester Lodge has been completed. Let's get 2 people to work on that. And once we get the cemetery online, well, online, I'm so used to Supreme Commander, we'll get a... Yeah, I feel like the church, the chapel, would function very good there. So I'm just gonna do that. And we've actually survived the winter. That was a very short winter. Yeah, it was very warm. Interesting. There we go. And fantastic. Now we've created that one and it's prepared for that. It's very hot. It's going to be a very warm summer. And I'm actually going to then start to work off these potato fields. And with that, I'm going to end this episode. And I do have to say, guys, thank you so much for watching this. If you like this video, press that like button. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. And my hunting cabins are giving me leather. But, oh, I am speaking from whopping mount here, as it's early spring, 6+ degrees, and I need to get people to start working on these farms. So what I have done though is just stop people from working on it. So what I can do as I'm looking around, as you can see, this is the farming village I have. I would love to think that, you know,